All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome to IGTV. And this is our weekly call with RSA Security. All right, this is RSA Security's Fraud Action Research Labs over in Israel. And on the phone with us today, we have morAhavua1. And Mor, good morning, and welcome to the program.
Thank you, Joe. Good morning.
All right, good morning. We're going to be talking about public-private cooperation. And you have a special posting you want everybody to know about so they can pull down a white paper. Why don't you get into that?
Sure. So, the RSA 2012 Trends is available for everybody to download from rsa.com/online fraud, and you'll find it under the additional resources. Incidentally, I also took part in writing it. That's one of the trends that we wrote there. I'm going to be sharing with you today. And that's how we predict that 2012 will be a record year for both botnet takedowns and apprehensions of cyber criminal gangs.
Well, that's pretty cool. Why don't you get right into it?
Sure. So, as I mentioned last week, 2011 was a very important year in terms of the takedown of massive botnets. We saw massive botnets being taken down, such as CoreFlood, Rostov, the Helos. These are botnets that enslaved millions of users' computers. Now, another trend we predict for 2012 is that increased information sharing between law enforcement agencies internationally will result in a record number of takedowns, both botnet takedowns and apprehensions of cyber criminal gangs. Let me just give you a few examples, Joe.
Before you do that, Mor, do me a favor. Could you give us and do it a little slowly because some people are actually listening and going to be typing this up. All right. Could you give us the link to that white paper?
The link to the white paper, it's rsa.com/online fraud. And you'll find it on the right-hand side under additional resources.
All right, because I think Phil is going to try and bring that up on the chat for everybody. All right, thanks. Go right ahead, and pardon me for interrupting.
Thank you. Okay, so basically 2011 marks a pivotal year in terms of information sharing between international law enforcement agencies. The Interpol held its very first international cybersecurity training workshop in Singapore in July last year. They had cybercrime specialists from 20 different countries participate in that workshop to look into, to get everybody up to speed with the best practices for investigating botnets and online forensics. Another event was held in Dublin, which was also initiated by the Interpol, this time with the participation and cooperation of the Dublin University College. That's where again, they had dozens of participants from different countries go into the latest advanced threats and get them up to speed in terms of investigating mobile phone crime, voice over IP, Wi-Fi, botnet analysis, money investigations. So that is really a pivotal initiative in terms of information sharing internationally with the Interpol. Another very important initiative was taken by the Interpol, where both the Interpol and Europol set up a secure information exchange network. That means that the two agencies can now exchange information in real time in a secure fashion, and they can, benefit and leverage each other's findings in order to conduct better investigations. Now, what we saw in 2011 was, several very high-profile, high-impact apprehensions of cyber criminal gangs. I actually mentioned this in several segments ago. We saw Operation Trident Tribunal, which involved the takedown of two gangs in East Europe. Now, these are gangs that were responsible for losses of hundreds of millions of dollars. And they were successful thanks to FBI initiatives, as well as the cooperation of law enforcement agencies in 12 different countries.
Before you get in any deeper on that one, I just also wanted to mention, you mentioned those conferences over in Dublin and over in Asia, right? You
Yes.
know, the FBI just held its second or third annual ICCS conference here at Fordham University in Manhattan, and that also was extremely successful, where they had at least 200 different countries represented here in Manhattan earlier this month. So you know that that cooperation and that continued dialogue across borders and across waters is going on, and I'd say going on rather robustly. So you know, it's good that you mentioned the others, but I just wanted to make sure that you were aware, and that our viewing audience was aware, that this is something that is not just going on overseas, but it's also going on over here in the United States.
Right, and the importance of initiatives like that can't be overestimated, because cybercrime is the kind of is crime that takes place over different continents. You have the brain, or the mothership or a server. In one country, you have millions of infected machines, spread out in different countries. You have domain registration providers that may be located in totally different countries. So, it's really critical that law enforcement agencies get together, that specialists from different countries get together and share what they know.
Yeah, all right. We're going to have more with morAhavua1 from RSA Security in just 1 second.